Welcome to the newest edition of the DFO podcast. What we're going to be doing in these collective episodes over the next 50 weeks is jumping through every state and what they offer. And we'll probably stick closer to deer hunting. We'll go over a little bit of the other seasons in some of them. The order I'm going to be doing it in is the order they joined the union instead of alphabetical order or anything. I like to do things just different, so that's where I'm going to be going. So this will be the inaugural episode of it. It'll run for the next 50 weeks. They will come out on Thursdays. So each one will be titled basically what state they're in. So some of the things we're going to go over in each and every episode is when they joined the union. Obviously, it'll be in the order of when they did by the date. What they offer when it comes to public land hunting, how much property they have, if it's an over-the-counter, if it's a draw, their deer density, if we can locate it in the different states, just what their license costs, just different things I want to try and go over with every state, because as I'm learning, I want to try to educate other people, because I'm learning this as I do the research for each one. If you know more about what I'm doing than I'm doing on those states, and reach out and let us know the things are correct in them, because I'm finding everything I can. Some of the stuff can be a little bit confusing, so we're going to go from there. And that's how this is going to work over the next 50 weeks. Hope y'all enjoy it. I've researched several of them so far, and I enjoyed myself trying to learn more about each state. Thanks. Delta Lodge Outdoors. This is your view of every state from more like a 30,000 viewpoint. Hey everybody, welcome to today's edition of the States podcast. I know it's been a couple weeks. I'm behind on it. Today we're going to jump into Rhode Island. Not a lot to it. From my point of view on it, it probably wouldn't crack my top 25 of wanting to go hunt, but I also know that there's people that have different opinions than me and would rather hunt certain things that I don't see a big thing in. So with that, what we're going to jump into is Rhode Island joined the union in it was the 14th state, I believe. Let me see. Don't make me lie to you. Number 13, sorry, 14 was Vermont. 13 is Rhode Island, May 29th, 1790. And then, so that's when it joined the Union. It has roughly 55,000 acres of state-managed lands to hunt, which for its overall size, that's really not that bad. There's varying reports on the amount of deer it has. So I've read 16,000, I've read 20,000, and then I've read 18,000. So we're just going to say 16 to 20,000 is what it has for a deer herd. When it comes to hunting it, there's different zones. So you need to know your zone of when it starts. Like zone 1 for archery is around September 15th. And in the one I'm looking at here, I think September 7th is the earliest I've seen it start. But you got some October 1st starts, you got some November 1st starts, you had a mid-October start. For Zone 2 is October 1st, Zone 3 is November 1st, Zone 4 is broke up into some weird stuff in the Zone 4, like I said. So they have, like I said, 55,000 acres of huntable land. What you need, to hunt there, they average about 2,000 head of deer killed a year, which not too bad when you're running the size of herd on the property they're running. So, that's in the archery season alone, which includes, each year around 2,000 head of white-tailed deer. I am reading this, so as I was paraphrasing and messing up. Each year, 2,000 white-tailed deer are hunted in Rhode Island. White-tailed deer are hunted in Rhode Island by archery, muzzleloader, and shotgun. I would assume they mean that's how many is killed a year. Addition to that, you may hunt private property, normal. To hunt there, you're going to have your license and your tags. Addition to that, you must purchase a Rhode Island hunting license. If you're a non-resident, the fee is $55. From what I've read, it's around $93 up to hunt Rhode Island. Tags not that expensive, and it's like $1 window from what I was reading on it. Like I said, Rhode Island would not be a state that I'd be like oohing and ahhing over, just because there's way better states out there in the same price range with a better quality of deer herd. I was looking at some stats last night for 2024-25 season, how many deer were in each state, and yes, they're larger amounts of land. So, but when you have 55,000 acres and you're of public land, not counting the private, just of public, and your overall herd size for your state is around 18,000. I mean, that's one deer, just public land, not adding the private land sector into it. That's like one deer every 3.5 acres, something like that, off the top of my head. Let's see. At 18,000. So, because 3 times 8 is 4, carry the 2, 3, 4. That's 54,000. So, it's around 3.25 deer per, one deer per 3.25 acres. So, that's just if you had only the 55,000. When you figure in all the private land that's in there and everything else, then it's way more. But something that is helpful there, from what I've read, there's no baiting, whether it's private or public land. So you cannot hunt over baiting of any type, So that will, that'll change up some things on how it's hunted and make the playing field a little more even, because you can't just go in there and pile feed up and sit there and hunt it, even on private land. So that's going to make the deer move around a little more. So I guess that's how they're combating a smaller herd size. Like I said, I didn't spend a lot of time on this one because it didn't really pique my interest that much of what it is to it. I'm sure there's other people that would enjoy hunting a place like that. It's not on my top, like I said, 25 list. I'm putting together after the end of the year a top 10 list and of where I would want to hunt. Right now, I've got 4 spots empty. Obviously, in no particular order: Texas, Missouri, Georgia, Kansas, Iowa, and New York are in my top 10 just because of what they are. New York has some really cool abilities and things to hunt. Like, they have a great deer herd and everything, but we won't talk about those in this podcast. But that'd be my top 10. Like I said, I don't think Rhode Island cracks my top 25. If you've hunted it or know more about it, please reach out to us. We'd love to dive back into it in a deeper thing with someone that's more acquainted with this state and has hunted it. And because it does, from what I was looking at, I think their state records are around a 173, which is not bad. They only have a couple Boone and Crockett entries, but from all, there's not a huge demand of big deer there. Are people killing big deer? So with that, I think that rounds out the Rhode Island side of this hunting pods edition. This was actually the 13th, the final of the original 13 colonies. So next week we jump into Vermont. Then we have Kentucky, Tennessee, Ohio, and Louisiana to round out like top 18, the first 18. So thank you all for staying with us. Sorry about missing those couple weeks on the regular podcast and this one. We are getting it back together now. Like I said in the regular podcast, I was working in San Antonio, then had to go over to Lake Charles and Baton Rouge and just trying to get moved around. And I have a laptop that I should have been able to do everything off of. It was giving me hell, and I just got frustrated and didn't do anything with anything from the YouTube channel to this for a couple weeks. Brant has been editing. I can't get that word out this morning. Editing a lot of content that I sent to him and to get out for scouting. Hunter, my youngest son, actually picked up the stuff the other day. His iPad wanted me to send a bunch of stuff, and he edited a fishing video together. And we're probably gonna throw it out there too. Like, he's having fun with it and learning how to do it. So I'm hoping him and Brant can get a lot of content out there for us and that it is in good shape. Like, some of it will be by Brant, some will be by Hunter. Hunter's 10 and learning to do it. I'm not complaining though, because like he's way better at editing videos than I am. And like, I can edit podcasts and move stuff around and do. The videos screw me up for some reason. But that's going to round out why we skipped a couple and what we have going on. Thank y'all for hanging in with us. If you have anything you'd like to add to this podcast, please let us know. And as always, introduce somebody to the outdoors. You never know what it'll mean to them. Thanks. Delta Lodge Outdoors.